Canines are our passion. They are our addiction. They are our way of life, right down to the very core. And without them, we would be lost. The canines of this world really are something to behold. They assist us at work. They accompany us at home. And they perform for us in the field. No matter where we go, they are by our side. Canines really are a ride or die, and for that, we are grateful. This podcast will showcase working canines of various breeds and disciplines as we search for those canines and their handlers who are always striving to be the best at what they do. Those who are always grinding. Those who are always pushing the limits. Those who are always dogging. Join us on our adventures as it is sure to be a wild ride. I'm your host, Bryce Matthews.
And I'm your co-host, Stephen Basham.
And this is Semper Doggin'. The Semper Doggin' podcast is proudly presented to you by Froggy Bottom Outdoors. Froggy Bottom Outdoors is the newest outdoor and hunting supply, habitat management, and livestock feed provider in the Midwest. With a wide variety of products, a unique business model, and a dedicated team of individuals who are eager to provide their customers with an unparalleled shopping experience, you will not have to search any further than Froggy Bottom Outdoors. With brands such as Garmin, Yoder Nylon, Banks Hunting Blinds, Razor Hunting Gear, Purina Mills, Kalmbach Feeds, Anuksha, Real World Products, and many more, Froggy Bottom Outdoors has you covered from the farm to the woods. Visit FroggyBottomOutdoors.com today and follow them on Facebook to see how they can help you. Not finding what you're looking for online? No problem. Feel free to give the store a call at 765-330-2098. The team at Froggy Bottom Outdoors is excited to get to know you and would be glad to answer any questions you may have. Guys, tonight is going to be a very, very fun and informative podcast. So, we all know that if you're going to have hounds, if you're going to have dogs, if you're going to have any canine, they got to have some fuel. And the way that they get that fuel is eating some dog kibble. So we've got Brandon White from Next Level joining us tonight. Him and Basham are going to sit down with me, and we are going to dive into what just dog food in general. Like, what makes dog food? How is dog food made? What ingredients go into it? Why are these ingredients chosen? We're going to dive deep into this, and I want to say that if you guys haven't and you want to get another perspective on this, go check out Jason Doobie's podcast on the W Podcast. You know, Jason is a good friend of mine, and he's always said, a rising tide lifts all ships. So, Brandon did a podcast with them a couple weeks ago over on the W Podcast, and I want you guys to go check it out after this one, so that if there's something that we don't cover and they did, you get a well-balanced information of dog food through your podcast platform. So, Basham, thanks for joining us. Glad to have you.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, from Gulf Shores. Look out. I
thought your room looked a little tropical or beachy, I should say.
Yeah, it's a little beachy, and I'm a little glowing right now. We've had a good time. Took the boy out on a dolphin cruise and went jet skiing and went down to the beach to get some seashells and just spend a little family time since I've been in Elizabethtown working for the last 4 or 5 months, so just came down here to spend a little bit of family time.
Yeah, man. Well, glad to have you. Brandon, thanks for taking time out of your schedule to join us, man. I know you are super busy.
You bet. No, I'm looking forward to it. As you can tell by my picture, I'm in Indianapolis, just north of the circle. So headed on my way to Kalamazoo, Michigan to attend the UKC premiere. We have the opportunity to sponsor a hound specialty, a new thing that they got on Thursday. So headed there tomorrow. Then going to go see some retail customers, Family Farm and Home, Froggy Bottom. Some of those guys are going to go visit some of those folks this week while we're out and about. So. Yeah,
man. Awesome. So you're on the road a ton. Like, I feel like every time I talk to you on the phone, we probably talk once a week, maybe. And I feel like you're always somewhere. You're always doing something.
Yeah, last week I was in Texas, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. This week, Indianapolis, Michigan. Next week I'll be in Connecticut. Yeah, so it's about 285 nights a year I'm gone. So that's just what it takes, man, to drive a brand. So
That's
a lot.
That is dedication, and we're gonna get into this. But you've been with Next Level from the beginning. You were actually with Next Level before Next Level was a thing.
Yeah, we come from a previous life and another brand, that Scott and Antoine owned and joined up. I've been with them about 10 years now, but after that company sold, had to take a 2-year hiatus and had to go do something else. But I started back with Scott and Antoine in December of 21, right before they started breaking ground on the U.S. Pet Food plant. That's U.S. Pet Food is our company. We have 2 brands, Next Level and Stratus. But yeah, was there day 1, employee number 3.
That's awesome.
Scott and Antoine were number 1 and 2.
Nice, man. I love it. I love it. So, Brandon, Brass and I don't need you to give us any credibility. But for the listeners, you are a houndsman. You're not just a dog food salesman.
I'm a coonhound guy.
Oh, look at that. He's got a tattoo of a dog tree.
Oh, look at that.
Hey, I mean, does yours look like mine? I got one too.
Mine's old school. I was one of the first guys to have one, I think, many years ago.
He did his in the kitchen with a little needle.
Had the kids doing it. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So you're not just a dog food sales rep. You're not just somebody out there who can recite things and sell ice to an Eskimo. You are a houndsman first, and you have a passion for these dogs.
Yeah, I grew up with coonhounds. My uncles, they had blue ticks, and my first coonhound was a black and tan. A lot of folks don't know, but a guy by the name of Harold Bailey from down around Aurora, Missouri, Jenkins, Missouri. If you're a black and tan person, you may know that name, Harold Bailey. He was through marriage, was a great uncle of mine, and he gave me my first puppy when I was first, second grade, and never had anything really that was big time. I couldn't really push, and then graduated high school, went to the Army, come home, and I just wanted to get back into it. So I bought a blue tick coonhound pup, and that's been on my arm there, and ran him for a while, made him a dual grand night, and had a great time with it. Bought another dual grand night female, raised some puppies. Was a truck driver, believe it or not, for American Freightways, which sold out to FedEx Freight, and started doing some demos for another dog food company. And I thought, man, I want to go sell dog food for a living. This is fun. You get paid to go to hunts and the dog shows and to talk to people. And so an opportunity come up. FedEx had a buyout, and I took a leap of faith and got a job selling dog food. And when I competition hunted, some of your listeners might know I wanted to win, and I knew the rule book. Wasn't going to try to cheat nobody on purpose, but you better know the rule book too. And selling dog food, it's awful hard to compete with somebody and then try to sell them dog food. So I backed out of the competition hunts, just pleasure hunted, and started showing my dogs, got into show dogs and stuff like that. And there's a lot of competition there too. But
true.
The only dog I got left now is a Grand Night or not a Grand Night, but just a Grand Champion, Spot. He's 14. His mother, Rita, was number 1 blue tick in 2010 at UKC, and she passed away a year or two ago at the age of 16. But so now I just travel all the time and selling dog food. But I do have a passion for the coonhounds. I'm a hound guy. I mean, coon hunters are my kind of people. Fox hunters, beagle hunters. This is where I come from. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. You said you spent some time in the Army too, so thank you for your service. Here at Semper Dog, and that's we're all about promoting and saying thank you to those guys. So he's a hound hunter, guys. He's a vet.
Yeah,
he is our people.
That's right.
So all right, so Brandon, let's break this down for the newbie who just got a dog who doesn't know anything about it. Let's break down the process of making dog food, specifically with the Next Level brand. So I know that you guys are very, what's the word I want to look for? You're very transparent with how your product is made. If you guys have followed Next Level for any amount of time on Facebook, Instagram, any of their social medias, you have seen the Next Level plant be built down in Texas. They have walked you through breaking ground, pouring concrete, putting up walls, putting in conveyors. They have walked us through everything and been super transparent about it. So let's go from the moment that a farmer harvests a product out of the field. Let's say your grain or wheat, whatever it is, from the moment they get to your facility, how does that work? Let's walk through the dog food manufacturing process.
Yep. So we have a procurement department and they're top notch. So we have vendors that supply us all of our ingredients. There's no secret sauce, really. All of us pet food manufacturers buy our ingredients from the same medicine cabinet, all the same vendors. But at our facility, it's gated off, facility. The truck pulls up. They have to call in, and they get verified that they're supposed to be there. They come in, they go across the scale, and they weigh in and weigh out. Crawl across the scale, get weighed in, and then they drive around the facility. We have an on-site lab that is detached from the plant. So it's a 2-story lab. The trucks roll in, the drivers go out and unroll their tarps, and then they go inside a break room. Our lab technicians come outside and they probe those trucks, those ingredients, get a sample, go inside, and we've got a machine. There's only like 3 of them in the United States. It's about $350,000 to buy this machine, and it breaks it down. It tests the rice for carcinogenics. It tests the zinc levels, the copper levels, the peroxide values, which is the freshness in the meat meals. You don't. Rancidity is like at 20. If a peroxide value is at 20 or more, it is dead. You don't want that. So we try to get ours as fresh as we can, and we're coming in at 1%, a little bit less, which means the shelf life is going to last much longer, and it's going to be such a fresh product that's going to taste well. But if anything does not meet our specs that we have, the trucks get turned around and they leave our facility. Everything passes. The driver moves up. If it's a grain, we use millet, sorghum, and rice. No corn, wheat, or soy in our products, but go to the grain receiving bins and get unloaded. If it's a meat meal, they go inside an enclosed area where we can receive 8 trucks an hour, which is a lot. You can only make what you receive. So if you're a company that has a very small receiving pit and you're trying to produce a lot of product for a lot of mass retailers, you can't do it. You're going to cut corners, and that's when problems happen. But we can receive 8 trucks an hour, and we can produce that. Then it goes into storage bins. We've got 27, I think they are, 74-ton storage bins that we can store our meals and then our grains. And then as we make it, it all gets batched up and pre-mixed into like a big mixing bowl, so to speak. It goes into a pre-mixer and then into a hammer meal.
Okay,
Go ahead, Bryce.
I got a question. Did I hear you right? You said there's no corn in any of your formulas?
No corn, no wheat, no soy.
Okay, so before you go any further, and I hope I don't derail you, can you explain to the listener why you guys don't put those in your feeds?
Yeah, absolutely. Corn, I sold against it for a lot of years, and there was the big thing, and I used to say it too, that corn causes heat and, causes the dog to get hotter faster. Corn's a really good energy source, but the problem is you have so many toxins that come in with corn, aflatoxin, and so on and so forth. So, and you just couldn't take that risk. So we felt like millet and sorghum was lower in the toxicity and lower in the sugar levels, blood sugar levels. Think about a diabetic. You want to keep the blood sugar levels low.
Okay.
A little knowledge nugget. Where is the sorghum capital of the world at?
Texas.
Negative.
All right, tell me.
Hancock County, Kentucky. My hometown, baby.
There you go.
Hallsville, Kentucky.
That
is the sorghum capital of the world. If you Google it, you Google sorghum capital of the world, it'll show you Hancock County, Kentucky.
Yes,
yep, sir.
A lot of things come from Kentucky. We'll talk about this too. Our what we call our VX Advantage. We use ingredients from Alltech, which is out of Kentucky.
Let's get into that. Let's get into that later. I got that on the notepad. Yep. Let's get into the VX. Okay, so that's why we didn't use any corn. What about the no wheat, no soy?
Those are just what we feel to be like cheap fillers. They cause a lot of mess in the kennels. Not a whole lot of nutritional value there, really. Some of the rice bran. For deer, rice bran works really well, but for dogs, no, not so much.
Gotcha. Okay, so sorry to derail you, but I'm going to have some questions during this thing.
You're fine. And back up just a second. When you think about making a dog food nugget, a kibble, think about meatloaf. My mama, when she made a meatloaf, she had, your hamburger and crackers or bread or whatever to hold oatmeal to hold that together. Mm-hmm. So you got your protein source, which is your meat meals, and then your carbohydrates, which is your sorghum, rice, peas, whatever, to help hold that together. So all that's been put up in big storage bins, and it comes down into a premixer and then goes into a hammer mill. A hammer mill, if you don't know what that is, I feel like most hound guys do. Imagine a coffee can with a rod through it with little bitty hammers on it that spins around and beats all up into a powder. And we grind all that stuff through a 364 screen to get it really fine. A lot of dog food companies use a 464 or a 564, so it's not as fine of a powder. If it's a bigger screen, you can make more tons per hour. We are more worried about quality, not quantity. So we'll slow it down just a little bit, run it through a smaller screen, and get a fine powder. It goes from that into the extruder, which is the process where the magic happens. That's where you get steam, pressure, and hot water to put it all together. And then those carbohydrates pop. Think about popcorn. If your carbohydrates don't pop very well, you're going to see them again. So if you take a handful of popcorn kernels and you just throw them in your mouth and you swallow them, you're going to see them again, and you're going to have bellyache. You pop that into popcorn, you don't ever see that again. It digests very, very well. So by grinding it into a small powder, getting all the carbohydrates to pop, we get good digestion, whether it be on the Next Level brand or the Stratus brand. It goes from there into the dryer, fat coater, packaging, and on out the door. But that is where the magic happens. And you can look at the Facebook video Scott put up a few weeks ago. He gives you a full tour and shows it very plainly how that stuff's done. Pretty neat.
Make sure you head on over to their Facebook page and take a look at that video, guys. I've watched it a few times, watched plenty of them, following them. Hit that follow button. Make sure you are following Next Level as we go along with them.
Yeah.
You know, it's something we started that Facebook page a little while back, but we're right at 80,000 followers right now. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. And, you know, one thing that I like about the Next Level, and not just for their transparency, is like, you guys service all ranges of dogs, you know, it's not just,
Absolutely.
You know, for your medium-sized hound. I mean, you guys have puppy formulas. You've got all the way up to giant breed formulas. And I kind of want to get in on that because there might be people listening to this, you know, who are running a giant breed. And I want to get into like kind of what separates your guys' giant breed formula from some others.
Yep. You know, we have 4 puppy foods, as you talked about, you know, all life stages. And how you classify a dog food, whether it be all life stages or if it's just an adult only, is by the calcium levels. The FDA puts out a limit of no more than 2.5% calcium is allowed in a bag of dog food. If it's going to be the large breed puppies, 70 pounds or more, it's got to be at 1.7% or less. Got to be a minimum of 1.1%. If you look back at dog food bags, a lot of them will say minimum 1.1%. Well, not just about the minimum, it's the maximum that you need to worry about the most. Sorry about that, I had a computer glitch. But so on our products, all of them are going to be 1.7 or less of calcium. Why do you care about calcium? Well, the show dog people will tell you, they'll know that calcium causes growth deficiencies. You get dogs that get rickets and start breaking over, they get all wonky in their legs. But what it does for all dogs is it blocks the absorption of zinc. And you need zinc for skin and coat. So if you got a dog that sheds easily or they have skin allergies or something like that, more than likely they're feeding a high calcium dog. Calcium levels in dog foods are the maximum amount is 2.5%. And you get over 2.5%, this calcium starts blocking the absorption of zinc. You need zinc for the skin and coat. So if you have a dog that sheds a lot or they have a dull sheen to them, they probably need more zinc. A lot of people think that their dogs have an allergic reaction to a product because they're scratching all the time. More than likely, they just have a zinc deficiency, and then they're feeding too much calcium and not getting absorbed the zinc. So we focus on that 1.7 or less in all of our products.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I've thought about that. So, like, what about dogs with allergies? You know, you'll hear a lot of people say, "Oh, my dogs have allergies. And they're allergic to chicken, or they're allergic to this, they're allergic to that." What do you guys think about that? And do you have a formula for those dogs?
We do. You know, we got our Ocean Catch, which is a multi-grain millet, sorghum rice, and Menhaden fish and salmon meal. Then we have a grain-free Salmon River, which is salmon and Menhaden fish. high levels of omega-3 and 6.
Okay, so
that is good for the skin coat.
So, Menhaden fish. I've seen that on a couple different brands of dog food lately. What is Menhaden fish, and why is it not just fish? Or break that down.
Menhaden fish is a type of fish that comes from the ocean. It's a smaller fish, and you get the whole fish. A lot of fish meals, if you say salmon, you don't get the whole salmon. Most of the salmon is going to go to human consumption.
Okay.
And don't buy into the marketing that you see in some bags that show a picture of a salmon fillet or a chicken breast. Come on, guys. We're smart on that. That is not going into the pet food. We get what's left over.
So, okay,
that's why you get higher levels of calcium, right? Because Chick-fil-A is doing a better job of taking meat off the bone. Bryce's favorite place, Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, is taking more meat off the bone. So we're getting more calcium in ash because we're getting more bone meal. We have to buy a premium product to keep that lower down. We use a product called hydrolyzed chicken to mitigate the calcium levels. Hydrolyzed chicken is a laying hen, an old laying hen that she's done laying eggs. Her meat is too tough to go to human consumption. So they take that chicken, where we get our chicken from, and they feed it nothing but water for 12 hours to clean out its digestive system. And they put the whole bird in a stainless steel vat, and they use natural enzymes and enzymatically digest that. Hydrolyzed means digested. And so therefore you're helping break down that chicken into a paste. And another unique fact about that is once it's already pre-digested, hydrolyzed, it's no longer an allergen. So if you do have a chicken allergy, you won't to that.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. So that's hydrolyzed chicken, you said?
Hydrolyzed chicken.
Okay, so if I get on to nextlevelpetfood.com, so I'm on your website, and I click on a bag, is it going to say hydrolyzed chicken somewhere?
Yep, on the ingredient list, it says hydrolyzed chicken.
Interesting. I did not know that. And after it's hydrolyzed, it's no longer an allergen.
Right. Hydrolyzed means digested. So if you're looking at our High Pro 30 LS, which is the number one seller, hydrolyzed chicken is right behind Menhaden fish meal and before the peas.
Okay, I'm going to look this up. The High Pro 30 LS. So I'm on the website, and I click on, there it is, right there.
And that LS, a little unique fact, that LS stands for large and small. That it's available for all life stages, including puppies that mature to be more than 70 pounds.
Large and small. I thought that the LS was for life stages. Look at this. I'm learning all kinds of things.
Large and small. And so what that's telling you is that our calcium levels is at 1.7% or lower.
So you could feed that High Pro 30 LS to your grandma's Shih Tzu, and you could also
all the way up to a Borbal.
Feed up to a Borbal.
You could.
Yeah.
In our giant breed puppy food, it's at 1.5% maximum guaranteed. It's just a bigger kibble. They could eat the 30 LS, but the kibble smaller. And for those giant breed puppies, we felt like a bigger kibble would be better, slows them down and makes them crunch it and actually chew on it instead of just swallowing it.
And that is a big kibble. Like, it's what, the size of a quarter?
It was when we first started on the giant breeds, but we reduced it down to a 20 millimeter. So about the size of a nickel.
Okay. What?
And there's videos up there on social media of you can listen to the dogs crunch, help clean their teeth a little bit, but really it just slows them down. Digestion for a dog does not begin in the mouth like it does for us humans. It begins in the belly. But those dogs can just swallow. Well, then you're increasing your risk for bloat that way. So if they have to slow down and actually crunch it, it breaks it down a little easier for them.
Okay, so if you started out at the kibble about the size of a quarter, and now you've changed it to about the size of a nickel, that tells me, and this is just Bryce Matthews' opinion, that tells me that you guys got some feedback from customers, and that
the bigger kibble was breaking down a little bit. And there's nothing worse than buying a bag of dog food and getting to the bottom of it and you're seeing a bunch of fines that deep at the bottom of the bag, powder. Nothing wrong with it, but it's not very eye appealing. And what we were finding in that bigger 25 millimeter is that it was kind of breaking up and not being very consistent. And we're all about quality control and consistency. There's brands out there that have kibble in it that's yellow, purple, red, and green, and all different shapes and sizes. You know why they do that? Because it's consistently inconsistent. You never know when something's wrong. Ours, you're going to know the difference if something's wrong.
That's a marketing scheme, like, that I would never have thought about it. Like, consistently inconsistent makes the consumer feel warm and fuzzy because their food looks the same all the time because they cannot physically tell the difference.
Right. But now if ours is off a little bit, the color, if the fat coater was just a little bit off or the kibble size a little off, they're going to measure. They're going, hey, you changed your formulation. No, not really. But
that's interesting. So let's go into good calories versus bad calories, because one of the hot topics, especially, and we're going to get into some other hot topics, but at the top of the list, especially in the coonhound world and in the hound world in general, is kcals per cup. And you called me one day, I was driving, and you said, Bryce, I've got it. I've got the analogy to explain kcals, and and I've got it. And I was like, well, throw it at me. So let the listeners in on what you told me that day, because it has stuck with me and I like it.
Well, K-cows is a big topic. Several brands are really promoting how many K-cows they got per cup, and that's fine. We all measure the K-cows exactly the same, supposed to. And I just got to thinking, how can I explain that to people where they understand it? What makes the number is more important than the number. And so I just Googled it, and you all can do the same thing. If you go to McDonald's and you order a large Big Mac value meal, you get a Big Mac, large fry, and a large Coke, you're at 1,350 calories for that meal. Man, that sounds great. You go to the Texas Roadhouse Steakhouse, you get a 10-ounce sirloin, a side of rice, and a side of broccoli. You're at 850 calories, K-cows per cup. What do you think that Brett Favre was going to eat? He was going to eat the sirloin, the 850 calories, or the 1,350, a Big Mac or a sirloin.
I mean, you're sitting in Indianapolis, and you just compared it to Brett Favre. Yeah, you could have used Peyton Manning.
I mean, how about Peyton Manning?
Like, goodness gracious.
Brett Favre, I watched his Hall of Fame induction speech today, so he just kind of
my God.
The disrespect.
I mean, you're talking to two Hoosiers sitting in Indianapolis. You got the picture of the Indy 500 behind you. You're a Hoosier now. You don't live in Kentucky no more, buddy.
Wildcat, blue and blue, baby.
Okay, all right,
at least
sorry.
I didn't say Dak Prescott.
Hey, you're wearing a cowboy hat. You might as well be a Cowboy fan.
That means you're good all the way up until the end, and then you just fall on your face. Right?
Okay, sorry. I 100% derailed that train, but I had to.
But you know what I'm talking about. I mean, think about these athletes. These coonhounds guys are athletes. They're professional athletes. We're spending anywhere from $1,000 to $20,000 for a dog. Hauling around in a $50,000-$60,000 truck, $1,000 dog box, $1,000 tracking system, and we want to feed it $20 bag of dog food. They don't work that way. 30 seconds, 15 seconds is the difference between going home with a brand new truck or going home broke. And you want to get every benefit you can get. But just those pro athletes are not going to go eat McDonald's and then go to work. They're going to go eat a nice, clean meal. So what makes those numbers are more important than the numbers itself. If you want more than 850 calories, eat another half a piece of sirloin. Now you're well over that, but you have a good, clean diet.
Yeah, I like that. What you got, Basham?
Yeah.
So speaking of which, obviously me and Bryce, especially, we dabble in the competition coon hunting world. And I think you would agree that competitively hunting dogs versus, just a lab that sits on your porch, they need different things. They need different things for the energy. They need a different amount. So coming from a coon hunter that also deals with dog food, talk to us a little bit about what you would feed in your line and why, as far as competitively hunting. And we're not even talking about that pleasure hunting. We're talking about that guy that goes in, for instance, like me Friday night, I hunted 2 hours, went back to the club for about an hour, and then had to go back out for another 2-hour hunt. I mean, you're talking 4 hours of hunting in one night, cut between, a little break to go back to the club. But, the energy that's needed for a dog to be able to compete like that. Just talk about, what is in that formula that you have and which one you would feed.
Well, it all starts with conditioning. You can't have the fine physical physique like I've got and just show up on a Friday night and expect to go 4 hours. We know that.
Hey, a lot of money and time went into that physique.
A lot. So you got to condition your dog just like you do it like an athlete does. You got to condition your dog. You got to hunt them when it's hot, and hunt them when it's cold. So number one, you've got to condition your dog. And every dog is different. There's three of us here. Bryce could probably eat 5 Snicker bars, never gain a pound. I smell one and I gain 10. So everybody's a little different. Dogs really can't process more than 30% protein anyway. So anything over that, they're going to go right to their kidneys and go out to their urine. So my favorite, I like a 24-20. Your protein is build your muscle. Your fat is your fuel. 20% fat is a lot of fuel to go. We got a formula called Performance. It's got 850 milligrams of glucosamine. A lot of dog food companies you look at, they say with glucosamine. and you look at the back of the bag, and it's got 300 milligrams per kilogram. Well, that's not really much of anything. That's kind of a tag difference. And when we're hunting those dogs, those 4 hours at a time, we've all seen them the next morning. They come crawling out of the dog house, or we get home and at 4 o'clock in the morning, and we leave in the dog box till 7 or 8 and go get them out, and they come crawling up to the sore. They're all stoved up, as we call it. That glucosamine helps prevent that. And so the higher levels you can get, the better. And we've got a new product now called Hero Salute. It's 850 milligrams of glucosamine. It's a 2818. First ingredient is menhaden fish. So the omega-3 and 6s are very high, so healthy skin and coat. A lot of great benefits to that product.
Yeah.
I am so glad he brought up that formula, because that leads me to my next one. But go ahead, Bryce.
No, you go ahead. You got it.
So, So I was actually going to ask you to elaborate a little bit on where that came from, what came in the makings. Like, what was your thought? What was Next Level's thought process when it came to the Hero Salute? And then why it meant so much to you guys to be able to launch it, because, and I could be wrong, I'm not a dog food follower very well. But I think that you guys might be the first ones to really come out with something like that.
The Hero Salute is something about Scott and Antoine, the owners of U.S. Pet Food. They're very patriotic. Scott also has a flight museum, and he honors the veterans of that. A lot of World War II planes. There's now some Vietnam helicopters. They have readings down there for the World War II pilots, Vietnam pilots. They come down and he flies them around. It's really something to see, to watch these guys that have flown that actual airplane, that actual helicopter, come back, and to be able to relive that again, and then see that, find that brotherhood. And not only just the military guys, but those Scott and Antoine, they support the military, the firefighters, the police officers. Yep. Very, very proud to be an American people and company. We all are. And so the Hero Salute, just an awesome name, and wanted it to be a little unique. Everybody's got a chicken and brown rice, or a beef and brown rice, or a fish and this, but nobody's really had a menhaden fish at high levels of protein and fat with glucosamine and chondroitin. So the Hero Salute just hits every button. 2818, 850 milligrams of glucosamine, 650 chondroitin, high levels of omega-3 and 6. It's just a perfect product for everybody all the way around. You can feed it to your poodle, your lap dog, or a hunting dog that's going hard, 5 nights a week. You won't find a better product out there.
Man, and people are not going to mistake the Hero Salute bag either. It is by far one of the best looking bags of dog food on the market right now. I've got it pulled up on the website, and what you're going to see here is you're going to see a Belgian Malinois, I presume.
Yep, that's a Belgian Malinois.
Yep, sitting in front of an American flag. Half the bag is American flag with the Belgian Malinois. The other half is a nice navy blue Next Level brand logo across the whole bag. It is a very well designed bag. So shout out to your guys' marketing team, because you're not going to mistake that bag.
No, the folks that did that for us, they're great friends of ours out of Minnesota. They just knocked it out of the park with that bag. They've done a good job on all of our bags. That one there really drove home. So
yeah, they did. So all right, so a couple other things going back into like the dog food and Next Level lines. Two-part deal here. So I want you to talk a little bit about the passion and purpose lines. If people are looking at your bags of feed, they'll see some of them say passion and some of them say purpose. Is there a difference between that, like that a consumer can say, okay, if they're having a hard time figuring out what they need for their dog, it falls into one of these two lines?
Yeah, we're going to tweak that a little bit as a company, because great answer. That's a great question, and that's what we just talked about last week. Antoine and I was together, like, what does passion mean? We're all passionate about our product. We're passionate about our company. But the passion line is I hate to say a me too. Everybody's got a 30-20, a 24-20, a 26-18, a maintenance. And the purpose line serves a purpose. It serves a puppy. It serves with high levels of glucosamine and chondroitin. It serves a giant breed, so to speak, something like that. So that's really the only difference. All of our products take care of gut health. If you've got a dog that's got a very sensitive stomach, any one of our products will help take care of that.
And so, that's the other thing I wanted to get into, and I'm glad you just rolled me into this, is, you guys have something called the VX Advantage, and that has to deal with your probiotics, and is it prebiotics as well, or just probiotics?
Prebiotics, probiotics, and now new postbiotics.
Okay, so let's do something here for the listeners. Let's break down what a prebiotic, a probiotic, and a postbiotic, all three of those. Let's dive into each three of those categories.
Yeah, well, you think about your gut health, your microbiome. The prebiotics feed the probiotics. The probiotics produce the postbiotics. So postbiotic is like a poop of the probiotics. But all of that stimulates and it has a healthy community in your belly that you need to digest. So that's the pre, pro, and post. We use mineral complexes from Alltech. That is your zinc, your copper, your manganese, all that product. It's got to be very bioavailable or it's no good for you. And then one of the main things is we use Cellplex as a source of selenium. You can get selenium in a rock form or the organic form, and we use selenium yeast from Alltech, and it's an organic form. It's a great product to boost immune system. They're using it in humans to slow down the aging process, Alzheimer's, and they're using it to help fight cancers. That's increases the egg count in females and sperm count in males. So great product. That is our VX Advantage. That's in every bag that we make.
All right, I like it.
We trademarked the term "science is in the bag," and that's a little jab at a big popular $8 billion a year company that has their science on the outside of the bag. We put our science in the bag, and it's all scientifically proven, and makes a big difference.
Yeah, and you guys have you hit on it a little bit whenever you're talking about like your ingredients coming in, but you guys have a lab that tests everything that you guys make. And correct me if I'm wrong, but when you guys were building the plant, did I not hear on one of the videos or somewhere that if anybody has a question about a dog food, that you guys will test different brands of dog food and do like a side-by-side comparison? Did I hear that right?
Kind of, sort of. We have the capabilities of testing dog foods.
Okay.
So we test our income ingredients, and then we test our finished product immediately, plus we send it off to a third-party lab to get tested.
Okay.
But we can also test other people's dog foods as well, and we know what they're doing.
Gotcha. So there's no pulling the wool over your guys' eyes. I mean, you guys know what the competition's doing.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Okay, where I see that you're on the road all the time. You're in big businesses. You're setting up, stores like Family Farm and Home. You're in small stores like Froggy Bottom Outdoors. We have a huge line of Next Level and Froggy Bottom Outdoors. We carry a lot of your guys' blends, and we're getting great feedback on that. So where can people find Next Level? If they want to give it a try, like where can they find it?
Well, the best thing to do is go to our website, nextlevelpetfood.com, and you can go to the Find a Retailer, put in your zip code, and it'll pop it up. If that don't work, reach out to our info at uspetfood.com or info at nextlevelpetfood.com and say, hey, I live here and I want to find your product. 80,000 Facebook followers, I think today, 79, 80,000. And then our number one hits on our webpage is where to find it. People are looking for it. And we got a heat map that shows where people are looking. And that's what we're showing potential retailers. Look, people are looking for this product. Here you go. They're trying to find a place to buy it. So that's the best way to do it. Just go to the website or give me a call. I ain't hard to find.
Now, are you guys all across the country? Are you primarily like in the Southwest, Midwest? Like where are you guys at right now?
No, we're in all 50 states, including Alaska and Hawaii.
What?
Yep, and we're down. Got some of the Panama, a couple of Belize, some of those countries down there south of Florida.
I'm about to pull this up, see where the closest to me is.
I did not know that. Okay, so while Basham is pulling that up, let's talk about a couple hot topics right now. Let's just hit on them. It has been tossed around, especially in the coonhound world, that some dog foods are causing issues such as thyroid levels and their dog performance. You guys have the science. Has there been any science to prove that or disprove that?
Not that I'm aware of, that I've seen. Whenever I have a bad day, I tell everybody I have a thyroid problem too. I'm sure there's probably some truth to that for some folks, but I just don't know. I've never experienced it. I've always done the blue tick, so my dogs are slower anyway. I don't know about that, but I've never seen any scientific proof, or nobody in the dog food world. We have a great nutritionist out of St. Louis, Dr. George Collings, and we've never heard of the dog food causing a thyroid problem. Is there thyroid problems? I'm sure there are, but dog food didn't cause it.
Are the people that hunt the blue ticks a little slower too?
Absolutely.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. I hunt my 40 acres all night long.
Hey, that's what allows you to have that nice physique you got going on.
That's right. That's exactly right.
There you go.
Hey,
Found it.
A guy that it's funny. It's a funny story. A guy that I used to work with, he had real bad knee problems, and he said, "You know why I don't coon hunt no more? I don't hunt real hard." I said, "Why is that?" He said, "These knees only got so many cycles, and I can't follow them dogs." All right, Basham, what'd you find?
It's in Baumgars. It's in Tell City, Indiana.
Yeah, Baumgars.
Baumgars. Yeah, it's about that's about 45 to 50 minutes from the house. So.
Yeah, Baumgars. Little story there. It used to be Orscheln's over there, and
okay,
I was
sitting.
Yeah, Tractor Supply.
That's where I'm actually from.
And
I'm right across the river.
Yep. So the Federal Trade Commission said, no, you can't buy all of that. That's whatever. So they had to split that up. So Baumgars bought some of Orscheln stores. Buckeyes out of Perryville, Missouri got some, and then Tractor Supply got the rest of it. So
I know exactly where. I know exactly. It's right there across from Mickey D's.
Yep.
Baumgars
is a great retailer. Good folks. Based out of Sioux City, Iowa.
Okay.
But, big chain.
Oh, Tell City, Indiana. My mom and both my brothers still live there.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so I just got a couple. These are just fun questions. I think we've shined the tree on the dog food thing, but like for a guy like you who said you spend like 258 nights on the road, you're away from home a lot. You have something that is driving you to do that and to stick with a company like this. Like what motivates you every day to get up, hop in the plane, get in the car, and push a product like this? Like what is your motivation and why are you so passionate about it?
Yeah, that's just the passion, and I've been blessed to be a part of this. Scott and Antoine, those guys are great guys and like brothers to me. But I remember when I first got into the pet food industry, I wrote a little article on LinkedIn that, hey, those of us in rural America, we want good nutrition too. We want our dogs to have the best they can have. I have been that guy that comes on a Friday, and I got my paycheck, and I got to buy dog food. I'm buying cigarettes, beer, and diapers. Well, guess what's not going to get cut? It wasn't going to be my beer or cigarettes back in the day when I did that stuff. But we want to feed a quality dog food for our animals too. And all this marketing and stuff that you see on TV and commercials and some big box stores, man, that ain't great nutrition. We believe that Next Level, we're the best nutritional value on the market. Are we the cheapest bag of food? No, not at all. Are we the most expensive? No, not at all. But nutritionally, we are the best value on the market today. And there ain't nothing I wouldn't do for Scott and Antoine. And I put my heart and soul in it. I did it at our previous company. I was selling that stuff in my sleep. And just enjoyed the people. We feel like our brand's a common sense nutrition for the common sense consumer at a common sense price. I'm a hound guy. I'm a country guy. I can hang with the guys, the pit bulls. I can go put on a sport coat in the fancy show dog world, or I can put on my hip waders and wade across the river. And I just enjoy that.
Say that again about the common sense deal. That was good.
That was a good one.
Common sense nutrition for the common sense consumer at a common sense price.
That's a mic drop.
Is that trademarked?
Yeah. Not yet. No.
You need to get that on the next bag of dog food.
Yeah. And it really is, because when we make our own product, and a lot of people don't realize that there may be 3,000 brands of pet food out there, but there's only like 30 small manufacturers in the United States. There's a lot of product that gets private label that somebody else is making for them. And you can't control your quality or your cost. With us owning our own plant, we're not going to have a fulfillment issue. There's been some fulfillment issues out there in the country in the last couple of years. Competitors can't get product out on the shelf. They're running, 6 months behind. They can't control the pricing because somebody else is making it for them, or the quality. We own our own plant. And we're not making product for nobody else. We're going to make our own product. So we're going to have fulfillment, getting it on the store shelves, and the store is going to have it at a great quality. So that's just that common sense.
That's one thing that I did not know happened so much until you and I had a conversation the other day, was that there was so much of that private labeling going on. I honestly thought that, the majority of the dog food manufacturers manufacture their own food. I did not realize that they were just rolling off different plants.
No, they got what's called a co-packer. You find a co-packer to make your product. You just own a brand name and some bags.
That's interesting. So, okay, let's talk about the other brand that US Pet Food owns, because, you said that Next Level is the best nutritional value on the market. And you said,
Yep.
You're not the cheapest, but it's honestly not outrageous at all.
Yep.
It's not bad. So let's talk about the other brand for maybe that person who just doesn't want to spend a little extra on the Next Level brand. You guys have another sister brand that, very comparable.
We do. We have one called Stratus. It doesn't have the VX Advantage in it. It's a great product, digests very, very well because of the way we process our product. It's going to digest. It just didn't have all the fancy vitamins and minerals and the lower calcium levels in it.
Gotcha. And then
there's a cat food in that. There's a puppy food, a 2420, a 2612 coming out. That's going to change to 2618, and we're coming out with a 3020 in the next couple of months in that product.
Awesome. So as a new company and a growing company, are you guys looking for, customer feedback and looking for those people who are like, hey, we've been trying this and maybe we'll think about this? Are you guys doing that? Is that something that, people can reach out to info@nextlevel.com and maybe
Absolutely.
share their mind?
Yeah. And just on our Facebook page, they just ask a question there. They're going to get a response. More likely it's one of the owners that's going to respond. Yeah. I mean, you don't get no better response than that.
Right. And one of the things that I like about it is before Next Level even released their very first brand of dog food, their very first bag of dog food, you and the other, sales reps were out on the road promoting this product, talking about it. You guys are not hard to find. You go to any of the major coonhound events and like you said, you're going to the premiere of the big show up here in Michigan this weekend. You guys are wearing your Next Level shirt, your Next Level hats. Like, you guys are doing a good job promoting it. And I've never seen one time where somebody walks up, asks you guys a question, and they didn't stay and talk for a while. It's not just a quick answer, hi and bye. You guys dive deep into that, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's all about relationships. We want to build a relationship with our consumers. It's like a big family. We're never going to charge you for a ball cap. If we got a ball cap, it's yours. It's free. A T-shirt, we're going to give it to you. I'm the kind of guy, and Scott and Antoine are too. They go buy a new truck, they're going to leave with a ball cap. So we try to do that and want to build a relationship and answer the questions to take the time. I used to carry 2 cell phones. Now I'm lucky enough to have one, but it rings all the time. I tell everybody from 8 to 5, I'm dealing with retailers and distributors. From 5 to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, it's coon hunters and dog people, because that's when they're off work, right? And we all try to make ourselves available and answer those questions. That's really what sets us apart besides the nutrition. Name another pet food company that you can go watch a video of how their plant is made. You won't find it. Most of them, if you go there, you have to sign an NDA and you have to leave your cell phone in the truck. Ours, it's wide open. There's no secrets.
Well, yeah,
as far as those hats and shirts go, unless you're Bryce Matthews, and then you got to steal your kids.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what, this is no joke. I was working a couple weeks ago, and I get a text message from Brandon, and I open it up, and it's a picture of Brandon standing there with my fiance and kids, and they're all wearing Next Level hats. And I'm like, hold up. Like, I thought you were in Arkansas or something yesterday, and now here you are taking a picture with my family wearing Next Level gear.
Hey, It is what it is. Them Melbourne girls, they got a special place in my heart. Got to take care of them.
Yeah, and so they ran into you at a family farm and home. You were in there checking on another one of your retailers. That's our local farm store here. So, that just proves that you guys are out in the field. You're visible. You're there to talk to people. I'm sure if somebody would have stopped you in family farm and home and asked you, hey, what's this Next Level? You would have went right ahead and told them all about it.
Got to. Yep, that's what we do. That's our job. So
I'm looking at the dog food here, and I see 2. I see the high energy, and obviously, I'm going to ask the Hero Salute. So I hunt a dog 4, 5, 6 nights a week, quite a bit. I'm looking to try out some Next Level. Which one should I switch to?
I've always been a big fan of high energy before we come out Hero Salute. So the differences is Hero Salute, you're going to have 28% protein versus 24, so a little bit more protein and a little bit less fat, but higher levels of omega-3 and 6s and 850 milligrams of glucose and chondroitin. So to me, it's no brainer. It's Hero Salute.
So Froggy Bottom Outdoors, we have the high energy in stock. It's $57.99 for a 40-pound bag. That is not bad. And we actually just placed an order for Next Level Friday, and we are going to have some of the Hero Salute on that truck coming to our store. So we're going to have that available. I don't have the pricing for that right now. But by the time this podcast airs, we should have that up on the website. And we can ship Next Level Dog Food. We can ship anything dog food related anywhere in the country. So if you guys want to try some of that, get on to FroggyBottomOutdoors.com and you can order your bag of dog food right there. But speaking of the Next Level Hero Salute brand, Brandon, you were gracious enough to say that we know on this podcast, seeing that Semper Dogging is all about giving back, especially to our vets. You guys wanted to donate 2 bags of Hero Salute to the listeners of this podcast.
Yep.
Basham and I have been listening for a couple things to engage our audience and have them email us. So what we're going to do, guys, Basham's going to have a question and I'm going to have a question. And we are going to have you guys email semperdoggin@gmail.com. And we're going to send 2 different people a bag of dog food. That's going to come from Froggy Bottom Outdoors. It's going to be a nice Froggy Bottom Outdoors box. And it is going to be a bag of that Hero Salute blend. Is that a 40-pound bag, Brandon?
40-pound bag and also a Next Level ball cap. We'll throw that in there too.
And he's going to throw in a Next Level ball and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Guys, this is getting good. Okay, so we are glad that you guys have listened all the way through this podcast. So on the line, we have 2 different winners going to win a Next Level ball cap, a Next Level t-shirt, and a 40-pound bag of Hero Salute. So, Basham, I'll let you go first. What question do you want answered at semperdoggin@gmail.com?
Let's go with, what is the name of Brandon's blue tick?
Okay. I like that.
Which one? This one?
The 14-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that's tattooed on Brandon's arm. So, it's not. I lied.
No, the one that's tattooed on his arm was his first one.
Okay, so the question again, repeat it. What is the name of Brandon's blue tick, the 14-year-old blue tick?
The 14-year-old blue tick.
Okay, got it. So that's going to be one winner. Now, the same person cannot answer both questions and expect to get 2 bags. So we're going to split this out. So my question is going to be, what was the name of the company that FedEx bought out that Brandon used to work for? I thought that was interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, okay, if you guys can answer those 2 questions, send those answers into semperdoggin@gmail.com. Froggy Bottom Outdoors Next Level, we're going to do a giveaway for you guys. So we appreciate you guys listening to this podcast and sticking it through with us the entire time. This has been good. Basham, you got anything else that, hot topic, top of mind, anything you want to discuss? We've got the guy on right now. So if you got something to say or a question, now's your time.
No, I think he's done a good job. I want to say thank you for reaching out, for coming on and supporting us, just through and through, whether it be Facebook, always sharing our page, it's Semper Doggin Podcast, just always supportive of what we're trying to do out over, on this platform, this side of the house, what we're trying to do and the mission that we're trying to accomplish.
And I just thankful to be a part of it, be on the podcast, and
Yes,
we'll come do it again. Maybe I get Scott or Antoine to join me sometime.
Oh, that would be
and,
awesome.
And really geek you out, or get you guys down to, you're welcome to come to Texas sometime and see the plant. Maybe if you go down there. Rumor is we may be a part of a PKC hunt down there, a big 5,000 something. If you guys are down that way, maybe stop by.
Book it. I got an entry.
Yeah, and
are you buying? You buying entry for me too?
No.
Dang.
I don't have an entry.
Oh, hey.
Blue ticks are allowed there.
With Brandon going to all 284, nights, I would say that his rewards program is pretty good.
It's pretty good. I do stay at Hilton awful lot. But,
he's got a lot of points racked up, Bryce.
Yeah, I'll give a few away, so not as many as I should have.
Oh man, no, that's awesome. So
if anybody's got any questions, man, they can find me personally on Facebook, shoot me a message. Our office, our inside sales team, customer service, they're second to none. They'll do whatever it takes to try to find an answer for you. The food's 100% guaranteed. You buy a bag, you feed it, you don't like it, no, it didn't work, take it back and get your money back. It's not a problem. No hard feelings. But it's just the best, my opinion, the best food out there. Not because I work for them, because I fed it, and I'll do anything for Scott and Antoine. I'll take a bullet. They're good guys. They put their whole heart and soul into it. And our guys in the plant, they are the best in the business.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Brandon, I just want to once again say thank you for joining us. I'm glad we finally carved out the time to get you on here. I know we've talked about it for a long time, and you and I spend a lot of time on the phone, just doing work business stuff, and I just really have enjoyed tonight sitting down, kind of just buddy to buddy and going deep into this and spreading the knowledge with other hound hunters and other canine fanciers. We're not, this podcast isn't just for the hound guys. We've got people who listen that have all different types of breeds of dogs. And, I think Next Level and Stratus, they've got something for everybody. So thank you for taking the time to join us tonight, buddy. I sure appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you, guys.
All right, Basham, I'm good. Brandon, if you're good, we're going to sign off of here. So, guys, thank you so much for listening to the Semper Doggin Podcast. Be sure to go check out our sponsors, Froggy Bottom Outdoors, Never Satisfied Offroad. If there's anything that those guys offer that could be of service to you, make sure that you shop with them. You're supporting the people who support us, and they're the ones, along with you listeners, who help this podcast go every single night or every single week. So we sure appreciate you. We appreciate them, guys, and we're gonna sign off for tonight. So I'm out of here, guys. You guys have a good night. All right.
Have a good one, guys.
All right. See ya. We all know that canines can take us to some wild places, and some of those are only accessible by an off-road vehicle. No matter how hard you try to maintain your ride, something is bound to break on one of your adventures. When you find yourself looking for replacement parts, or maybe even a few upgraded parts to further try and prevent a breakdown, look no further than Never Satisfied Off-Road. Joey Goforth is the proud new owner of Never Satisfied Off-Road and is ready to serve you. Performance accessories such as lift kits, portals, tires, and more can all be found at Never Satisfied Off-Road. Located in Covington, Tennessee, the team at Never Satisfied Off-Road is ready to ship parts and accessories for your ride anywhere in the country. As their new website is currently being built, be sure to follow them on Facebook at Never Satisfied Off-Road 23 to keep up to date on the hottest items and sales. Give them a call at 731-693-9921 to place your order and get your ride ready to follow your canine wherever they may take you. Are you ready for the best part, though? Mention that you heard this ad on the Semper Doggin Podcast, and you will receive a Semper Doggin approved listener discount.